Welcome back to the Pain Game. Today we're going to talk Darren Till versus Tommy Fury / John Fury, of course. But first, some more important and quite serious news in the combat sports world. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, it's come out now. It was rigged. I can't believe it. You know, you have to question the validity of boxing these days when you can't trust two professionals to get in the ring and do their best against each other. And instead you find out Mike Tyson pulling his punches, not trying to hurt Jake Paul. Absolute disgrace. I thought better of them. You know, I really did. I thought that Mike Tyson, especially, Iron Mike, he was just going to go in there and knock Jake clean out. But here he is, not trying. I'm so disappointed in him. But you don't need to take it from me.
He can fight, yeah. For boxers his level, yes.
Meaning what? Not your level?
I do not believe so. No, not at all.
Mike Tyson has launched a fierce verbal attack on Jake Paul after the YouTuber decided to speak out about their November 15th fight. Not only did Paul spread wild rumors about the bout being staged, but he also had the audacity to claim Tyson needed the payday. Really, Jake? I've always been in the gym training and sparring with professional fighters. Staying active is crucial. When I was younger, I fought 15 times in 1 year, so I understand the importance of consistency, Tyson said. Meanwhile, Paul suggested that Tyson, a global legend and a name synonymous with boxing greatness, had turned to a YouTuber for financial help. Let's take a moment.
I've always been in the gym training. I'm boxing professional fighters. Activity is great. I had 15 fights in 1 year when I was younger, and I think activity is great, but I'm prepared.
Does Jake even understand the fundamentals of boxing, or is he just winging it for clout? Either way, it's fairly obvious Jake has no idea what he's spouting, and he is about to learn the hard way. Honestly, the Tyson-Paul showdown was the kind of fight nobody asked for, but could not resist watching. At 58 years old, Tyson faced Jake Paul, a 27-year-old social media sensation turned boxer. When it was first announced, the internet collectively raised its eyebrows. Was this a legitimate sporting event or a strange publicity stunt? Critics didn't hesitate to label it a circus before the first punch was even thrown. The age difference wasn't the only thing that worried me. On one side, there was Tyson, a living icon whose name demands reverence, and on the other, Jake Paul, a digital influencer whose major strength lies in stirring up controversy online. The fight was like pairing a fine wine with a can of energy drink.
Look at my life as a legacy. Legacy to me means ego. Who the cares about my legacy? I'm going to be dead soon one day, but he's not going to win. Exactly. I started to, matter of fact, I started. Thank you. I started Jake Paul off.
Then came Jake's most ridiculous claim, that Tyson needed a financial rescue and had begged for the fight. Seriously, Jake? The same Tyson who owns a thriving cannabis business and probably has more loose change lying around than you have in your investment portfolio? Fans were furious. And just as the hype around the fight seemed to settle, a leaked script appeared on the internet. This was not a rumor, but a word-for-word, round-by-round description of how the fight was supposed to go down.
There is an alleged script leak. This has not been confirmed. Take it with a grain of salt. No one knows if this is real.
Tyson was supposed to be his old self, his signature style dominating the ring. Jake holding his own, and by round 5, Tyson taking a tumble after a well-timed punch. The whole thing sounded like a scene right out of a Hollywood movie. Fans were amazed at how specific the script was and how eerily close it mirrored the real fight. Tyson seemed to be moving slower while Jake was composed. Even the information about Tyson getting cut above the eye matched reality. The fight was beginning to feel less like a sporting event and more like a WWE production with better branding.
But that changed when Paul clenched with Tyson. It's alleged he whispered into Tyson's ear to cool it.
That love Mike, and despite what he said in that interview with the girl about the legacy, we love him and his legacy.
As the chatter became louder, Tyson remained notably quiet. No fiery rebuttals or angry statements. He seemed to be letting the rumors swirl, or perhaps trying to identify the source of the leak. After all, if a non-disclosure agreement was in place, someone had breached it in a big way. True to form, Jake couldn't resist adding fuel to the fire. On his podcast, he casually claimed he held back during the fight to avoid injuring Tyson, framing himself as the real danger in the ring. This offhand comment ignited a media frenzy. Was Jake admitting the fight was staged? Or was he simply boasting without realizing the implications of his words? At this point, Tyson-Paul had morphed from a questionable matchup to full-blown spectacle for all the wrong reasons. People were not just questioning the bout's authenticity, they were actually rewriting the whole narrative in their heads. Tyson eventually broke his silence after weeks of facing rigging allegations and seeing the leaked script go viral. In an interview with Fox Sports Radio, the former champ denied the allegations with vigor, saying it was a real fight. The tone did not leave room for doubt, as if challenging the integrity of anyone who dares disagree. Tyson wasn't merely brushing off the accusations. He was furious. For him, the rumors didn't just undermine the fight, they tarnished his entire legacy. Look, my life is my legacy. Legacy means ego. Who cares about my legacy? I'll be dead one day, Tyson remarked. Yet even he knew that the viral script had left a mark on his legendary career, casting a shadow over his accomplishments. Behind the scenes, it had turned hotter. Insiders even dropped hints that the NDA is strict enough and will give severe penalties to the individual who violates it. In this case, that may have made Jake's podcast comments very dangerous indeed. According to insiders, Tyson's legal team has begun mulling over some options to pursue. For Tyson, this is not just about the fight. It's about defending the reputation that has taken him decades to build from being exploited for clicks. Statistically, Jake was better than Tyson in nearly every category, landing 78 punches compared to Tyson's 18. On paper, it was a one-sided display of skill. But there was one glaring inconsistency. It was Mike Tyson, the man who once demolished champions with minimal effort, now struggled to land even a few clean shots. Watching Tyson's lackluster performance felt like seeing a superhero lose their powers. But ringside footage spoke a different language. The punches were real and brutal. Tyson did not look like a man following a script. He looked like a fighter pushing his aging body to the limit. His iconic bob and weave had slowed, and his punches lacked their trademark ferocity. Tyson later admitted to blanking out during parts of the match, raising questions about his fitness and focus. Was it simply the case of catching up on age, or was something else at play? Paul fought with evident intent. He threw sharp combinations, cut Tyson above the eye, and seemed to show that he had something to prove to his peers about legitimacy. It's said during one clinch, Jake leaned in to whisper to Tyson to ease up, then kept pushing with bad intentions. And what's the driving force behind all this chaos? Money. Jake Paul, ever the provocateur, claimed Tyson approached him out of financial necessity. According to Jake, Tyson needed the fight to stabilize his finances. They claim that Tyson did not leave that bout, but walked away mad. Sources even suggest he threatened Jake in a private talk. Tyson gave Jake his best verbal knockout and said, "Stop dragging my name through the mud for your own gain." So, what does this mess say about the future of boxing? Have the sport finally reached that point where, for better or worse, spectacle trumps skill and legacy? Can it survive if its fans come to believe the drama outweighs the authenticity? Most important, how long until viewers stop tuning in, weary of wondering if they are viewing real competition or just another pay-per-view show? Legends were once made in the boxing ring. Nowadays, it's beginning to feel more like just another stage.